Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Clint and a new Manny. What's up, Manny?
How you doing,
So
everybody?
we're gonna do something a little bit different this week. Manny and I are gonna hit through the news because I know that news doesn't stop, and so getting Alex and Ryan and Matt together is a little bit difficult. So we're just gonna hit through some news and stuff and kind of give our opinions about it. And then like the main reviews and stuff will be done with the other guys. And maybe Manny sometimes. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about like random stuff, other reviews and stuff that's not like the main movies that are dropping. Like today, we may talk about like Stranger Things Volume 1. I know it's a little late. Volume 2 is coming out on Friday, but give our thoughts on like other stuff that we may have watched or anything. So this is Manny. Warm welcome to Manny. Hi, Manny. But yeah, let's jump into some news, man. So this is breaking like today. I don't know if you got to see this yet or not, but Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 is coming in December 2023. I That's a little quick, isn't it?
From like the sequel of the new one, the remake?
Yeah.
Really? No, I've not heard about that actually.
Yeah, man. So I guess like they're aiming for a December 2023 release. Now I know like COVID kind of like delayed Afterlife, the first one, but I mean with special effects and everything coming, I don't know how they're gonna gather all these kids together and try and do this. What do you think?
I wasn't really a big fan of it, if I'm
Oh,
being honest.
really?
Yeah,
What?
like I really didn't. I don't know. It didn't hit like the original.
Oh,
Like
that's true.
it really didn't hit with the original. And bringing kids into the world of Ghostbusters, like I feel like they just couldn't keep up with what they had before, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Well, I think like you can't replace those characters either. It's like replacing Luke, Leia, and Han. I mean, where else can you go?
I mean, but
I,
some things are just best to be left like they were. Like you don't need a remake for anything
oh,
or for everything.
amen.
You
I'm
know,
sure that you and I will talk about that stuff as well. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. Like, some things just need to be left alone. Like the first two movies were good. Obviously, the first one is a classic. And trying to like they tried to reboot it in 2016, which failed horribly. And it's not because they were ladies. Let's just get that out of the
bad
way.
writing,
Yeah, it's
bad
just
writing.
yeah. So and Afterlife, I thought Afterlife did a good job of like capturing at least somewhat of what the originals were. Um, I think the cast did a great job. Um, McKenna Grace, I thought was great. And what's his name? Podcast. I can't remember the actor's name. Podcast kid was pretty good.
If,
I
if
just worry. Huh?
I'm sorry for interrupting, but if I remember correctly, isn't it like the farm of like their family member that used to be a Ghostbuster?
Yeah. So spoilers, I guess, since this movie's been out for a while. So the farm is I don't even know where it's at. But yeah, it's the farm of Egon, and he was trying to stop uh was it Zool from coming back?
I can't I can't tell you, man. Like honestly, I really didn't see the hype for the movie. I really didn't. You
That's gonna
know,
be disappointed. It's a huge Ghostbusters fan.
don't get me wrong. Like like I said, Ghostbusters is a classic, but at the same time, like not everything needs a remake.
That we can agree with.
They should have left it with the classics. After the new reboot in 2016 didn't work out. You know, it just that just kind of killed it for me.
Yeah, but you know they're not going to leave these things alone.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
money, especially Sony. For some reason, Sony just wants to like pop out these movies like nobody's business. Sony just wants to remake everything and put out crap like Morbius. Dumb.
I don't know why they released it back in theaters, but they did.
Because they're dumb. Dumb. All right. Yeah, so Afterlife 2, I think that's a quick turnaround. I mean, you know, no matter how we feel about the film, I think that's a quick turnaround because I think the last one just dropped in like November, and to turn around and try and make like a CGI heavy movie for December of 2023 is, I don't know, maybe a stretch unless they have like the script ready to go. I don't know. Moving on. So Hocus Pocus 2 got a trailer today. Did you watch that?
I did. I actually did.
What did you think?
I was expecting to see some of the old characters, like, you know, the little girl being grown up, you know, coming in.
Laura Birch.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, I forgot the character's name.
Yeah.
It's Thora Birch, I think. I can look it up.
But I was expecting at least to see her, you know, because she was a kid at the time, you know, coming back to help the new generation fight the witches. But who knows? Maybe they'll drop another trailer and then we'll see her then.
Yeah, it's Thora Birch. I don't know if she's coming back or not. I mean, Zachary Binks can't come back because he's dead. He moved on. You know what's funny is like I watched the I thought the trailer was cute. I really liked the first one, you know, the first film. It's just like one of those things is like, is this too far out to like be a thing? This is like almost 30 years later.
I wouldn't say far out. I wouldn't say that. You know, I'll think about it as, you know, a trip to memory lane. You know, and maybe introduce, you know, to the new audience some of the old things that we used to watch.
I don't know, man. 30 years later. I don't know. I kind of think like if they were gonna do this, they probably should have done this in the mid 2000s or like early 2000s and stuff. At least like, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like really kind of excited for this, but I kind of feel like this is a little too late. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because like they have, now that they have Disney Plus and now that they can do stuff with it and make random movies, like random TV movies that they don't want to make, but put like the money into it, I guess. But I don't know. It was a good trailer. It was a cute trailer.
It was.
Coming.
I wonder who's gonna be the new Black Cat. Did you see him in the trailer?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, Zachary Binks is dead, so he was dead.
With his sister.
Moved on, yeah. He went bye-bye. I don't know. Maybe it's just like some random black cat.
Could be.
I don't know.
I guess we'll wait and see in what, September?
Yep, September 30th.
Yep.
September 30th, right in time for Halloween. All right. So we got some Marvel news. We're gonna talk some Marvel stuff, obviously, because that's what we do here at Production News, production meetings. So first off, I'm gonna take this as a grain of salt for all you Spider-Man fans out there, but apparently rumor has it that Andrew Garfield has signed a multi-year deal with the MCU. Listen, I liked his Spider-Man. I liked his Spider-Man a lot. I thought that he was a better Spider-Man and Peter Parker than, you know, strike me down if you want, but as better than Tobey Maguire. Like I thought Maguire was a better like Peter Parker, but I didn't really like his Spider-Man too well. But I think that, you know, Andrew Garfield did a better job of being both. Um, but again, I'm going to take this with a huge grain of salt because I just don't think that this is true, especially after like he just said that like a month or two ago, didn't he say like around the Oscars that he was going to like take some time off
I
from
saw
acting?
that, but at the same time, I also saw that they were trying to go to actually finishing his third movie. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, there was like rumors that they were saying that they were going to try and do his third movie.
But
Um,
the thing that gets to me is like a lot of people like badmouth him, because of his second Amazing Spider-Man. They were like, oh, like, he really wasn't a good Spider-Man. He wasn't a good Peter Parker. But after No Way Home came out, everybody just kind of jumped to the bandwagon of, maybe he was a good Spider-Man. Like, like he was a good actor. He was a good Peter Parker. Like, why didn't they make his third movie?
well, yeah, I mean, I just I don't know.
Me personally, I liked it. I liked his Spider-Man movies. He was a good Peter Parker, and like now that we're expanding into the multiverse, you know, you could see three different versions of Peter Parker.
right.
You got Tom Holland's, which is like the teenager, the one that hyperactive. You know, you got the Tobey Maguire's, which is the serious one, and then you got the Andrew Garfield, which is like kind of like a medium of both.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I just didn't like the storyline of Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think that, you know,
It had potential.
making, huh?
It had potential.
Oh, completely. It had complete potential, but I think that it's just like if you make the Electro blue, okay, that's strike one. Let's just like I don't understand like why we had to make him blue. Okay. Secondly, you try to add like a couple more villains into this already kind of like complex, not really complex, but it's just like this story. And I don't like when these superhero movies try to shove like 4 or 5 villains into like one movie because then it just kind of muddles whatever it is that they're trying to do. Because I mean, if they were going to go for the Green Goblin and Harry, just do that. Just follow with that, okay? Because we all knew what was going to happen with Gwen. Like if you're a Spider-Man comic book reader, you already know what's going to happen with Gwen. She's going to bite the dust eventually. So that wasn't really a big surprise. But it's just like trying to add him like the Green Goblin at the end of an already Electro movie. Then it's just like, okay, now you're trying to muddle the waters of like whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And I think that that's what they did with Amazing Spider-Man is that it's like they even tried to like put in like the Sinister Six with all their like wasn't it like one of the in credit scenes that they had like the octopus arms and then they had like Electro and then they had like the Green Goblin or whatever and they had like a couple other things like in this like basement of like Oscorp.
Yeah, I think it was where Harry was being incarcerated.
Right. So like you try and introduce all of that into like an already kind of like muddled movie. It's just it weighed it so much, it weighed it down pretty badly. But him as Spider-Man, I never had a problem with him as Spider-Man. If they're trying to like bring him into the MCU, I think that's gonna be like a difficult sell. I just don't
I don't.
unless
What do you mean by like a difficult sell?
well I maybe not a difficult sell, but it's just like I don't know. I just you already have like Tom Holland's already established himself as this like the MCU Spider-Man. So why do we need to introduce another one? Like if they were like if Sony was going to do their own like Spider-Man movie that's not connected to the MCU, then I can completely 100% agree that they should do like his Spider-Man. or Raimi's Spider-Man 4, or both. It doesn't matter. But it's just like, if you're gonna try and like gather him into the MCU, I just I don't know why you would try it and like even make the MCU, which is like something that you and I are going to talk about later, is just like, the phase 4. Like, you're trying to introduce another Spider-Man into this universe that they're creating. You're gonna lose people. I have a feeling that it's just gonna lose people.
I mean, you also got to remember we're in the multiverse,
Right.
aspect now. You're gonna see not repetitive characters, but you're gonna see same characters from different universe coming in.
Right.
So I feel like that's what No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and maybe the Miles Morales movies are doing. They're opening the gate for the multiverse,
right.
To be more, I guess, more heroes to come in.
Right. Well, I mean, the other thing that we haven't like considered either is it's like they didn't say that it was for Spider-Man. So I mean, that'd be obviously a very weird thing to try and bring in Andrew Garfield as like another Marvel character. But I mean, if you're going to try and bring him into the MCU, I mean, it didn't say that it was for Spider-Man. So,
true.
I mean, there are a few characters that I would like put him in.
Or he could be bringing them back as like a symbiote Spider-Man.
Hey, maybe, because they didn't get to that with him, did they?
No, they did not.
I don't know. So, huh?
Because you got to remember, at the end of No Way Home, they did bring Venom symbiote into it. I know. I'm sorry.
All right. So moving on. So Thunderbolts movie is coming up. Do you know what the Thunderbolts are?
No.
Okay, so the Thunderbolts are basically like the Suicide Squad for Marvel. They're a bunch of like villains that they try and use as like Black Ops or whatever to like do things. And they were started by Norman Osborn to kind of like replace some of the heroes during Secret Wars. So now that they're kind of like this villain for hire type of group. So rumor huh?
Kind of like a mercenary group.
Yeah. So like Helena Black Widow is going to be in a Taskmaster Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. US Agent, John Walker, the Captain America from Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Who else is going to be there? Zemo is going to be a part of it. And Abomination, I believe. Any of the like random villains that they have still alive.
Is it confirmed that Taskmaster is going to be in it? Because didn't he die on the Black Widow movie? In the when they blew up the little Sky City?
I don't think so.
I thought he died. Or she died.
I was gonna say spoilers. It's a she. I don't remember. Hold on. Okay, so Thunderbolts movie. What do you think?
Well, I never like really read anything about them, so it'll be nice to come to like a new aspect in the MCU.
Villains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess they did the villain movie of Morbius, but we both know that movie really wasn't.
That's not the MCU. I'm not. No. I'm not
Well,
counting that.
I mean, you saw it, right? Or you haven't seen it?
Unfortunately.
Well, you saw when they brought the Vulture into their universe. So
Does it even say how he gets over there?
um, I'm pretty sure it was because of the events of Peter Parker, Tom Holland trying to make his wish that everybody, or trying to make his spell that everybody would forget about him. I think that's how he was able to escape from his universe to their universe.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
he Vulture did say that he was just 1 minute here, the next time here.
That's right. I tried to block that movie out of my head.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I really wasted the money going to the movie theater for that.
Oh, poor Morbius. Such a random character that they need. Yeah, sure. I mean, Thunderbolts I mean, is a Suicide Squad type. I don't, you know, I think they just need to get the right director for this and like the right story, because like the first Suicide Squad movie with Jared Leto was horrible.
It was okay.
Well,
I
it was
wouldn't say
okay.
horrible.
I
I
didn't
liked
like
it.
him as Joker. Yeah, like it was okay. Like the second one, The Suicide Squad, was such a better movie. And that's just because of James Gunn and his weird writing. But it
I
was
gotta say
such a
though,
better,
King Shark stole the show. That's all I gotta say.
right? Yeah, like he's the best. Him and Peacemaker. Like if you ever get a chance to watch that show, watch that show. It is
It's on
ridiculous.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
You don't have HBO Max.
Oh, I told you how to take care of that. Anyway. But yeah, okay. Let me see. Any other Marvel news? Okay, so um after watching the Multiverse of Madness, I think that was the last film that's coming out. Thor and Love and Thunder is coming out on the 8th of July. Kevin Feige had just mentioned that we should see where it's whatever direction the Phase 4 is going in the next couple months, the next couple movies. So with Thor coming out on July 8th, and then She-Hulk is supposed to come out in August. And I think the next movie is not until November, right? Which is Wakanda Forever.
I thought it
Pretty,
was until November or December. I know it's at the end of the year.
yeah, I believe it's November. Let me double check. But with that being said, you have any ideas or like wants of where like you want Phase 4 to end up at, or
Well, Phase 4 to me looks like just a whole bunch of introduction to the multiverse.
okay?
I don't see like any multiverse, views on the new Thor movie, nor the Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
So if they should have ended the Phase 4, it should have been with Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. Because
Yeah,
it would be kind of weird changing from like, going from the multiverse to like a whole different thing.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. Like with the multiverse stuff, hopefully they start to like bring it like bring in the things that they promised that they were going to bring in. I don't know like how far out this phase is going to go. I would imagine that it would probably end with Guardians 3. Because Guardians 3 is next May, or at least with Quantumania, which is the next Ant-Man movie, because that's pretty much where one of them ended. I think it was Phase 2. I think that ended with with Ant-Man. But like bringing in like the Fantastic Four, like let's like have we started making groundwork for that? Like I don't know.
I haven't heard anything from
Yeah, like like
him. I did hear that Chris Evans would like to redo his roles as the Human Torch.
that'd be amazing. Um, yeah, like I just haven't felt like they're making any groundwork towards like like I said, the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or like any of these big groups that they just acquired from 20th Century Fox. All these characters that they're doing. Like that's, I mean, I've heard rumblings that of like um Doctor Doom's country is going to be in like Wakanda forever. Like they're going to be like some sort of skirmish with them or some sort of thing with them. But like I'm just kind of wondering like what they're going to do. I mean, I'm definitely like enjoying the shows as much as like some people are just kind of like expecting these to be like earth shattering or mind blowing. But it's just like Moon Knight was a decent series. It was very CG heavy at the end, but I think that some of the lore that they brought in was kind of interesting. Ms. Marvel is actually doing really well. My daughter and I have been watching that every week. Hawkeye, I think, was an underrated show. I really enjoyed Hawkeye.
I don't know why people hated on that show. Like,
I don't know either. Like I thought it was a very good ground level type of Marvel show. Like it calls back to the Daredevil series, the Netflix shows. Like it was just this, the world isn't ending, and it's just Hawkeye. So I don't know if it is the multiverse stuff. I think they need to kind of like, I don't know if like Thor is going to be any type of like multiverse stuff, but I'm just hoping that they get to this soon, or at least start dropping like better hints or clear hints.
yeah, because a lot of people are gonna be lost.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch WandaVision before you seen Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah,
Okay.
WandaVision. That was the first show I watched from Disney Plus. Like, as soon as that episodes came out,
Right.
that and Loki.
Yeah, Loki was good as well.
Still waiting for season 2 to drop.
Yeah, right. Um I just think that like, I don't know. I think they need to make clear signs for like fans of Marvel that aren't like fans like you and I, where like we watch all these shows and watch them all connected and whatever. I don't know. I think that they need to make clear like signs of where they're going. I mean, do you feel like this is a mess right now? Because that's kind of how I feel. I feel like some of this is just a mess.
I feel like Marvel's trying to bring a lot of characters in, but they're doing it too fast.
Uh-huh.
Like too fast, like not really well scripted. And like you said, it's a mess. Like you're not keeping track of like one thing. It's like a whole bundle up.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, like you said, like some of this stuff is like the multiverse stuff, which is, Doctor Strange and No Way Home and even Loki was touched on like some of the multiverse and like variants and things like that. But then you have like Thor. Like, Thor's not going to deal with like the multiverse stuff. Like it's going to be like the Asgardian things and Gore the god killer is going to be an ancestral being and stuff like that. And then you have stuff like the Eternals, which was completely off of whatever is going on. And then you
Never
have
watched
like
it.
Hawk. It's okay. um, but I mean, then Blade is coming out, which is vampires, and you have Hawkeye, which is like this street level stuff, and it doesn't really kind of like I understand that they're building like a timeline, but nothing is really kind of connecting to the other. I feel like it just seems like a mess right now because, like I said, Moon Knight is is like other gods and like the Egyptian gods and stuff like that, and like having avatars and things of that nature to carry out what the gods want. And then you have Thor, and then Black Panther is something going to be completely different. I don't doubt that that's going to deal with anything of the multiverse level. I don't know. I hope that they get somewhere soon.
Time will tell.
And that seems to be all of the Marvel news right now. So let's do some DC news. Christian Bale says that he'll return to Batman if Christopher Nolan is directing. Thoughts?
All I gotta say is, Nolan, please come back. I am begging you. I would really like to see a Christian Bale number 4 as Batman.
But he retired. How is he going to come back?
Everybody retires, but
Tom Brady
gotta come back, man. There you go. See Tom Brady. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, like we had these conversations of Batman before, Christian Bale, personally, my favorite Batman. So I would really love to see him come back.
I thought Pattinson did a good job of emo Batman.
He did, more of a investigator type of Batman.
Right.
Christian Bale was more of I wouldn't say like a brawler, but more of an action type Batman.
I think his, especially in the Dark Knight, I think it like ran that line just enough to show that he was kind of investigative. But like you said, I don't think that it delved as much as like Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson did in the Batman. I hope, you know what, I think that the Dark Knight is number 2 on my all-time favorite list of movies. And I think that Nolan did an exceptional job with all 3 of them. And I would be interested to see if he does come back to do like another one. Because let's face it, DC, we just talked about Marvel and Phase 4 being a mess, but I would take Marvel's Phase 4 mess over DCEU's mess right now.
DC needs to step up.
DC needs to stop. That's what they need to do and like reset. I am happy that the Batman was, exited out of the DCEU, and I am glad that it was his own thing, just like Nolan stuff. But we'll get into DC in just a minute. Well, more into DC in just a second. But yeah, I would love to see Nolan come back. But sadly, I think that he said in an interview recently that he wasn't doing any more franchises like that.
I don't know. Nowadays, you can't really trust them. They could be setting us up for something.
I know. I don't trust anybody in Hollywood anymore, especially after Kenobi. Anyway, we won't talk about that. We'll talk about Star Wars in just a little bit. Okay, so next up on the DC stuff is rumors are going around that The Flash is going to be dropped onto HBO Max due to its eccentric lead. Who's missing, by the way? I don't know if you knew that. He's missing.
Didn't he like kidnap somebody too?
Yeah. I'm
gonna just be honest and like be open. I really wasn't looking forward to that Flash movie at all.
But I was like, I literally, I'm not because of him. Listen, okay. Back in 2017, when they dropped like him as the Flash in the Whedon cut, because of production meetings, that's what we call it, is the Whedon cut and not the Justice League, which is Snyder's version. So the Whedon cut, 2017, like it was decent. Like he was fine as the Flash. Like he was It was okay. But it's just like as the years have progressed, this is now almost 2020, this is the middle of 2022. So almost 5 years ago that this movie is dropped and he's been recorded as the Flash. This kid has literally nosedived his career for one reason or another, and I don't get it.
It's just fame got to him. The fame got to him.
Somebody spiked his tea. Like, I don't know what's up with this kid. But I was looking forward to this for a couple of reasons. One, they're going to introduce Supergirl, because I mean, if you're going to move on from Henry Cavill as Superman, let's like introduce somebody like some sort of Superman Kryptonian to kind of like carry the weight of this DCEU. Though I strongly suggest that they do bring Cavill back for Superman, because I don't think that guy got a fair shake at being Superman. Okay, because Zack Snyder is a decent director. He's not like a franchise carrying director. Okay, i.e. like Army of the Dead. Like that movie was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, and he did 300, which was decent, but like he hasn't really done like anything to suggest that he needs like a franchise like Superman. And then he did literally two movies with Superman and made him like the most bummed out Superman. But Cavill's Superman was really good. Like what he was able to do with Superman was really good, and they took it away from him, whatever reason. And they blamed the whole thing on him. Well, they didn't blame the whole thing on him, but they like blamed like the success of all three of those movies literally on Cavill. And it's like, why? It wasn't his fault. So like you're going to introduce another Kryptonian, the Flash, then you're going to go back to the OG, well, not the OG, but like the 89 Batman with Michael Keaton, and bringing him in. That's awesome. I don't care about Ezra Miller. I wanted to see these two like try and like do some sort of movie, and unfortunately Ezra Miller or the Flash just happens to be a part of it. That's the only reason why I was excited about it.
See, but with the new Flash coming in, were they gonna introduce their own version of the multiverse in the DC universe?
Yeah, they were gonna introduce like Flashpoint, which is basically this whole storyline of the Flashpoint is that Barry kind of goes into the Speed Force and goes back in time to save his mother from being murdered, because that's why he becomes the Flash, right? Everybody has a tragic backstory, and so he goes back to stop his mother from being murdered, and to stop his father from taking the rap and going into jail, and the whole instances of why he becomes the Flash, right? And what happens is that the like Multiverse of Madness, or like No Way Home, or Loki is a better way to describe it, is that it splits. There's this whole timeline called the Flashpoint that splits, and then where like Bruce Wayne is actually the one that gets murdered instead of his parents, and then Thomas Wayne becomes he becomes like the Owl or something like that.
Thomas Wayne becomes a new Batman, but
right
people, and
right.
Then, well, the only Flashpoint I saw was the cartoon version.
Yeah,
so
that's
how I know. I don't know if they were gonna like take ideas from that one, or if they were just gonna create a whole new thing.
Yeah, they were basically gonna take that whole idea of the Flashpoint and make their own. By the looks of it, it looked like from the trailers and stuff, he just happens to like stumble upon like other variants of himself and other universes of the DC. And I think I think from my understanding, what they were trying to do was kind of like what the MCU is doing, is have like each one of their universes kind of like mold together to where you have these offshoots of like Superman 78, or like Superman that we know in the DCEU, and then Batman 89 and the Flash, and then whatever like Batman 89's version of the Flash was going to be, and then Supergirl and all this other stuff was supposed to kind of like meld in to be like, look, all of our universes are connected. We understand. Like they kind of did it first before Marvel did, because they did put Ezra Miller on the Flash TV show. And so this was like their way. And then like they did like on the DC shows on CW, did the same thing where I can't remember what it was, Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's what it was. Where they basically flat out said it before Marvel was like, hey, look, all of our universes are connected, but they're their own thing. Because Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths is basically this DC wide thing in like the early 80s where each one of their universes was dying off. And that's what DC shows were doing on the CW, is that they were entering like into different sides of the DC universe and they were closing them off. And so I think a few of them survived, but I think a lot of their, like, I think Smallville, I think, is one of the ones that died. And their version of Superman died and all this other stuff. Anyway, so that's what like their Flashpoint now is going to be, is like Flash. The movie was supposed to kind of like even bring in Ben Affleck as Batman, like his version of Batman was supposed to be there. I don't know if he was dressing up or not, but I know that he was coming in, and then like Michael Keaton was going to be the older Batman. And from rumors that I've heard, is that like DC was going to basically use Keaton as like their Iron Man, their Tony Stark, and he was basically going to be like the focal point, and how it all spreads out from him to like the different universes and stuff. And I think it was supposed to even set up like, of course this is a grain of salt, it's supposed to set up like Batman Beyond, and he was going to be like the old Bruce Wayne that teaches somebody else to be Batman.
Yeah.
So that's why I was excited for it. But I don't know what they're doing.
Sorry, dude.
But I
have to wait a little bit for your movie then.
Well, see, the thing is that like the rumor has it that the Flash is going to be dropped onto HBO Max, and the thing is that going back to the original point of like this whole point is that I feel upset for the new Supergirl. I can't remember her name. It's for Michael Keaton and the production crew of this movie and the director, because like if this kid like royally screws up this movie because of his actions and people aren't going to go see it, like this movie, like the Flash movie was supposed to come out like 5 years ago. Like they went through like 6 directors and like a few writing like treatments for this movie, and then for him to come in here and act like a jackass for this movie just to be dropped in like some back end corner of HBO Max royally pissed me off. Like I feel horrible for these people.
Like I said, man, the kid, fame just went into his head.
Yes. So weird. Anyway, more DC news. Harley Quinn's animated series season 3 trailer dropped. Yay! Did you watch this?
Yep, I saw it. It looks really good. Too bad I can't see it.
I love the show, man. It is so bizarre. I'm gonna send you my HBO Max stuff and see if you can just like binge some of this stuff.
I've seen a few clips here and there, like they're really portraying the Harley Quinn who she should really be.
Yeah, it's goofy. It is like overly violent and like just bizarre. It's like I will admit, like the first couple episodes of the first season, you kind of have to kind of like get through because it's setting everything up, and I think it finds its groove like midway through the first season, and then it kind of carries over into the second season. But it like if you're going in this just knowing that it's just bizarre and overly violent for no apparent reason, and that the heroes of this show are ridiculous, I think you would enjoy it. Like because they dumbed down Batman, obviously, because this is told through her perspective, obviously, and like so, like the heroes and even like Jim Gordon is dumbed down, but it's a good watch, so I can't wait. What else we got? Oh, Amber Heard may be recast. Yay!
No.
You don't think that she's gonna be recast?
Even if she is, even if she's not, I don't think I would see the movie.
You're hating on DC today.
Oh yeah. I,
Oh, poor DC.
don't get me wrong, man. Like I'm a DC fan, like the next guy, but they just been letting me down. You know, the only one that I will have to admit that has my high hopes is Black Adam.
The Rock?
Yep.
Ew.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do hope they recast Amber Heard. You know, it was a long time coming. She should have gone the boot.
Got the boot?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I don't know why she's still doing her thing. Oh, whatever. I don't know if I'm like really excited for Black Adam either because it's another Rock movie. I'm done with the. I think the other thing though is like I'm kind of done with these like anti-hero movies. Like why do they need to be? Why do we need a backstory for this? Like the Joker, like his match is amazing, and we'll talk about this in just a second. But as amazing as that movie is, like Todd Phillips did an amazing job, like recreating a Scorsese type New York with the Joker and like mental illness and all that other stuff. And I think that they did a great job, but I don't need to see his origins. I don't. Why? Like, don't make an anti because that's what they're doing now is they're taking these villains like Black Adam. Black Adam was a villain to Shazam for many years in the DC universe. And now they're kind of creating this anti-hero where he's like he does heroic things but in a bad way and all this other stuff. And it's just like nobody cares. Like, I don't know why people care about this. Like, why do people want this? Like, I don't want Harley Quinn to be an anti-hero either. Like, keep her a villain. Keep all these villains. I don't need to know their like backstories or their tragic backstories because of blah blah blah. They're villains for a reason. Sorry, that was my rant.
You gotta remember they're trying to appeal the audience too in some ways. I do get your point though, like, you know, they really shouldn't be anti-heroes. Like they're villains, they're villains.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like that's what they're known for.
Right.
Their best roles comes out from being villains.
Agreed. Oh well. Speaking of the Joker, yeah. Speaking of the Joker 2 is being in development with Lady Gaga is tapped to be Harley Quinn or in talks to be Harley Quinn. Thoughts on that first, because there's a second part to this. So thoughts on that first.
You know, I enjoyed the Joker movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing the second one come out. As far as Lady Gaga, I think it'll be like an interesting character for her to take on.
You know what? I agree. I think that like she's got some acting chops. You know, she's been in like a couple movies now.
I mean, even if it wasn't for just like the acting, like Lady Gaga's like just personality wise in the real life kind of mimics that of Harley Quinn.
Right. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if she kind of like pulls this off. You know, because I live and die by, you know, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But I think this would be an interesting choice, a little different take on the character, especially in that like I said, that Scorsese type New York. With Lady Gaga as Harley, and I think it would kind of ground her a little bit more than what like the Suicide Squad movie do in her movie. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see. But the interesting part of this whole thing is that they're trying to make it as a musical. I'm not going to go see that if it's a musical. And I love musicals.
Never been a musical type fan. I mean, you know, The Joker just doesn't sing, man. The Joker doesn't sing. You know, he kills people.
Right. Why would, yeah, I don't understand why we're making this a musical. That's just,
Mhm.
I love
And
musicals.
even for Harley Quinn, like I just can't see her like singing either. I just can't. You
I
know,
don't
they're
know.
supposed to be two, you know, couple,
Yeah.
you know, just going out there murdering people, making Batman's life hell. Just
All with a song in their heart, bro.
they can keep the song in the heart. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, oh well. Um, and that's DC news, man. We got a couple of things from Star Wars. So first off, there's rumors that our Cal Kestis live action series in development. Um, do we need this though?
I don't know if that's coming up because of the sequel. I feel like we don't need it. But then again, you know, a lot of people don't play video games.
True, but I just feel like if you wanted like his story, just keep making video games. Isn't it cheaper?
Like I said, you know, at the beginning, like not everything needs a reboot.
I would imagine that this would be like a new story though.
True, but I don't know. I feel like they just saw how great, you know, the sales was for the video game, so they thought, hey, let's make this a TV show.
Yeah, maybe. Look, I don't think that we need a live action series. Like if you want to know his story, like play the game.
Or just go on YouTube.
Or yeah, or watch it on YouTube. I mean, whatever. But like we don't need like a whole story, like a whole no other series for this.
I am excited for the sequel though. I cannot wait
Yes.
for the
Jedi
sequel.
Survivor. Oh,
Yep.
completely. Definitely. Definitely. Um, but yeah, don't need this.
No.
Um, next bit of or last bit of Star Wars news is Taika Waititi says that his Star Wars film is going to be completely different from the Skywalker saga. That he's not going to. This is going to be a brand new like corner of Star Wars universe, and it has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga. Um, I am all for this. I love Waititi. He hasn't made a bad movie yet. Um, and I think that he will give a very different perspective of what Star Wars is.
I will have to agree with you. I am ready to see, you know, a new face, like different perspective of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, we all love the Skywalkers, even the adopted ones. um, but I think that we need to move away from this. Like I'm completely on board with this. I think we need to move away from this Skywalker saga. I think that we need to like, and that was what I was kind of hoping for the Mandalorian, but it kind of like snuck its way back to like Luke and like kind of introducing like Luke and stuff like that. And I think that like I think we need to move away from that. Because let's face it, like Star Wars fans can be the most passionate yet toxic people on the entire planet. And I love being a Star Wars fan, but it's just like if it's not exactly how Lucas wanted or you know, it's not Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher or whatever, like we're gonna hate on it. And I don't know why. So I think we need to move away from like the Skywalkers and like, you know, whatever. And I don't even think that we need to use new characters either. I think that they need to like, go away from that type of line and maybe tell different stories within the Star Wars universe or whatever. And stop placing things in like middle of the sequels and middle of trilogies or in between trilogies.
Like the time gap. Yeah.
Yeah. You constrain yourself so much to that, and I understand that like between 3 and 4 there's 20 years, and between what is it 6 and 7 there's like 30 years or something.
Yep.
I understand that's a lot of time, but it still constrains you to what you can tell.
So. Hope they bring Mace Windu back. That's all I gotta say.
Mace Windu?
Yeah.
I don't think Waititi's gonna bring back Mace Windu, man. Fair enough. That's fair.
A guy can dream, right?
Right. He can. All right. So some other random news that we got. So rumor has it that Johnny Depp is coming back as Jack Sparrow for like $300 million. Pardon my French, but I think that's bullshit. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think Disney wants him back.
I wouldn't say not Disney. Probably him. Probably Johnny Depp doesn't want to come back.
Sure.
Because I'm pretty sure Disney saw that they messed up.
Probably.
And now they're like, we apologize. We back your role, and we'll give you a pretty heavy amount. But part of me wants him to come back as Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, he did an amazing role, but at the same time,
But at the same time, those last 2 movies bombed horribly. Horribly. Yeah. They were bad movies. Especially that last one.
Not even Captain Jack Sparrow could say that.
No. It's almost like we're going to take pirates and put like some supernatural like instance in this, and we're going to see where this goes. It's like, don't. Like, just let them be pirates. That's what I want to see. An actual pirate movie with Jack Sparrow.
I mean, they already confirmed they're making a new one, right? What's it called?
Yeah, with Margot Robbie, and it's like the Lady Pirates or whatever. I don't know what it is called, but it's the Lady Pirates. Whatever. Don't do this. Don't do this. Okay. More random. Well, Disney news. Guy Ritchie's going to be directing the live action Hercules. Disney, if you can hear me, stop it. Stop it. We don't need to make more live action cartoons. Stop it.
Like I said, not everything needs to.
Stop it.
I don't know.
I didn't really care for like Aladdin. Like, why are we going to do this again?
I never even saw the movie.
That's
how much I care about it.
Right. I know. I don't even know if I'm going to see Pinocchio either when it comes out like September.
The only live action remake from Disney that I saw was Mulan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Stop it. Stop it all. I don't care. I don't care about this. Yeah. Put it in there to talk about, but no, I don't care. All right. So The Boys have been renewed for season 4. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I'm excited.
Are you excited? Are you caught up on this season?
No, I still need to finish season 3.
That's the season that we're in, dude.
Yeah, I still need to finish it.
Is it finished yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think there are like a couple episodes. They have a couple
Kind
episodes
of
left.
bad on my Amazon Prime payments. So yeah.
All right. I'm excited about that. I love this show. I think it's a different take on like superheroes and stuff. And I enjoy
I
it.
love the goriness that it has.
Yeah. I uh, I had to stop watching the season 3's premiere like 10 minutes in. I was like, what the hell? And then yeah, he exploded and I was like, what? Like, okay. I was eating lunch at the time at work. I was like,
Oh,
nope, I can't do this right now. I stopped at 10 minutes in and I was like, I can't do this right now. But yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes. I'm a little behind right now, but I am excited to
you
bring
see,
this
I'm
from
the only one. You're behind too.
I know I'm behind. I'm behind. So much stuff. Like I watched like The Old Man this morning. It's like an FX series that just dropped on like Hulu that's going weekly. And I was like, why am I starting this? I've finished like the Umbrella Academy season 3. You're behind. It's horrible.
You know, me and Millie are about to start the Umbrella Academy too.
You should. It's like I said, like I told you in the text, like if just think of the X-Men as a dysfunctional family and just the crap that they get into. I really like this. I really like the first season. The second season, I will admit, is a little spoiler, but it does take a little bit to get into. Like it takes a little bit for it to get going. By the final couple episodes of the season, it does get going. I haven't started this season, but I've heard it was pretty good.
Those are what, 3 seasons?
Yeah, it's just the 3.
Mm.
I think they're 10 episodes each. So anyway, moving on. My Hero Academia season 6 trailer dropped. Yay! I will fully admit that I don't know who some of those people are, but knowing My Hero Academia, they'll just remind me every couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll throw a recap in there.
Yeah, like I think the lady with the horns. Everybody was excited that she was there, and I can't remember who she was.
Can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen My Hero Academia.
Let's see if I can pull up an image of her. Images. Nope. I can't see her. Oh well. Yay. Season 6 coming. Crunchyroll, probably.
October. Yeah, in October, right?
I think it drops in October, yeah.
Yep.
Or did it say fall or something like that? I don't know. Let's find out.
I think it's October, at the end of October, if I'm not mistaken.
Slated to premiere in 2022. 6. Oh, you're right. October 2022.
Yep.
What? So I'll probably watch that trailer again here in a minute. But yeah, cool. Next to last stuff. Did you ever watch Game of Thrones?
No, never really got into it.
Oh, so then you wouldn't really care if Snow is getting his own sequel series.
Sorry to disappoint.
I don't care. I hate this.
I mean, they even said like the last season was horrible too. Like,
you know what? I'll go fisticuffs to somebody about that. I think that there were some episodes that were a little whacked out, like the last couple ones, but I think overall, like it was decent. It was probably the worst season. Yes, I will agree with that. But I'm just gonna spoil it. Like you don't care. You don't care about this. Okay, so I'm gonna just spoil this. Spoilers for the ending of or series finale of Game of Thrones. So Jon Snow is like becomes like the king of the North for like a bit, and then like towards the end he kills somebody, and then he leaves to go beyond the wall because he that's where he was in the beginning of the series, and then he wants to go back. I just don't know what they're gonna do this, like what they're gonna do this with. Like, are they just gonna like the series is just gonna be him on the other side of the wall, like hanging out? Like, there's no threat anymore. So I was kind of confused on like why they were gonna do a sequel series to this. Because there's no threat in Westeros anymore. There's no real kind of like the whole series was set up because like there was like some like ancient threat coming from the north, like through there to come down through Westeros, and then like people, wanting the throne of all of Westeros and whatever. Now that all that's settled and the dragon lady's dead, is he just gonna be like a hermit? Like what are we gonna do? The hunting series with Jon Snow.
Not kind of fitting in the description of a Game of Thrones, huh?
No, not really. Oh well. All right, we don't care. All right, last bit of news. The Last Airbender has 3 animated films in production. Yay! Yay! I'm so excited about this because I lost all faith in the Netflix series that's supposed to be coming out because they've separated from the creators of the original series. M. Night Shyamalan is ridiculous.
I just kept losing faith after the live action movie came out and after the Legend of Korra. Just
Yeah. I still haven't finished Korra. That's how much I care. Yeah, like you know what? I want a Toph movie though. Give me a Toph movie. She was my favorite character. A waterbender. Wherever she's at. There she is.
There she is. Yep.
I am a waterbender, but I want a Toph movie. She was the best character on there. Didn't they say that they were gonna do a oh my gosh, the island of the ladies with the fans crud. I know I'm gonna get hate for this. She was one of the avatars. She was like they were on the island and they had the fans. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what they were now, but I thought they were gonna do a movie with her. With the avatars. Yeah, what do you think? 3 more animated movies?
I'm excited to see, where it's going. I'm glad it's not live adaptations. I am certainly glad about that. I just want to see where they pick up from. The animated movies,
Yeah, man. Hey, like, I mean, I don't know. I will watch some of the Netflix series coming, but I don't know. Give it back to the creators. They seem to know what they're doing. That's why I was kind of confused on why they separated from Netflix, or Netflix separated from them, fired them or whatever. But oh well, more animated movies. Yay! And that's the end of the news, man. You got anything else?
No.
No?
Pretty sure we hit everything.
Yeah, man.
Today.
Mine's walking around too. All right then. Well, in this thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, we may most likely gonna make this like a weekly thing to kind of like alleviate some of the news, because the news doesn't stop, and we like giving our opinions around here. So please give us a like and follow us on Facebook, our production meetings Facebook group page. We drop all sorts of news and opinions on there, and we'll talk about it like on here on our YouTube stuff. So all right, guys, that's it.